Welcome to Dungeons and Downtime for another week's news and topic. Last week we spoke about Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins leaving WotC and joining Darrington Press. What followed was a well-meaning message through gritted teeth, possibly from Wizards, sending love to Crawford and Perkins. All the best. No, honestly, good luck, it's great news. Then Todd Kennreck went straight into his review of the Unearthed Arcana subclasses, which I watched every second of. It's on his channel, which he started ages ago, but yeah, he's taken it up in the interim between jobs, as it were. And I commented, I did all the things, because I really support Todd. He's like our official spokesman amongst the creators. It was actually great to be watching him again on his own terms. And Jeeves Osiris said, maybe you can get him for an interview at some point. I did reach out to Todd, I did message him, and he did read it. Then he blanked me as expected, which is totally fair, because who am I? Then I saw D4D&D Deep Dive do a 2-part interview with Todd, and it basically covered Todd being heartbroken, genuinely, and yet very professional and balanced in the hope that maybe one day he'll get rehired. But it's great to have him back making content. In a short, he said he was going to interview all the same people because they're all his friends, and I just urge you to back him, especially in his time of need. So Dragon Delves has reached some people's hands, and reviews in are kind of saying it's fine. It does sound about as little as they could get away with. And I pre-ordered it. I'm going to do DM guides for it. It's my kind of content, it's new, it's exciting for me to do, and hopefully it's useful for some of you. Now I started getting pushed to this advert for maps, D&D Beyond maps, because they were doing an early release of one of the adventures, so I hopped on, subscribed for about the 3rd time, only to find that I hadn't pre-ordered on D&D Beyond. I got off Amazon. So the whole quick play maps thing wasn't actually ready for me to look at. But D&D maps is just as unappealing as it was when I did make a video about it. But the idea of quick play maps is good. You just got all the tokens, it's all there ready for you to just go. But it costs money and it's not that great. Now, the Void on Demiplane is a place where Daggerheart gets to put their playtest material, such as the Witch class, which sounds pretty cool, but I don't know because my product has been delayed until September. But I will be keeping my eyes on that. It's something new and shiny, and yeah, it's just a breath of fresh air when one is needed. Speaking of which, a guy called Russ Krokoff on Facebook asked for a breakdown of the differences between D&D and Daggerheart, and a chap called Matt Roberts replied, D&D is a structured orchestral process and Daggerheart is jazz. And I liked that. It really does seem that it's more free-form and less rulesy, but it is very token management. Have you played it? What did you think? Let me know. Now, I was overjoyed to have my comment on the XP to level 3 video about Daggerheart liked a lot, even though Jacob has also ignored me for 3 years when I try reach out to him. I understand, who am I? I'm lucky if I get 100 views on a video. Unless I make a thumbnail saying the Daggerheart scandal just got worse. Oh yeah, 1600 views later. And my comments washing in. But not a single one that I had to be upset about, and I easily get upset at nasty comments until I delete them. Now, I knew this might be detrimental to my channel in some way, but I'm not exactly popular, so what do I have to lose? So yeah, I fired it out, and sure enough, that headline did me some good, but there won't be any more. That's just not who I am, which was wonderful because my community came forward and said, come on now, you're better than this, that is not what you're like. And that meant the world to me, that you had made this correct assumption through my videos, even though I've not explicitly said. So I felt lifted up that you didn't give me grief for that. You know, I didn't lose subscribers for that, however, the last episode of this Dungeons and Downtime, I lost somebody. And because I'm small, I notice when you stop subscribing. But, well, yeah, fair enough. It's gonna happen. I know YouTube guru Brian G. Johnson loses 700 subscribers every month, and so he has to gain 701 subs to gain a subscriber. That is the cost of being big, so I've got to get used to losing subs. Next up is the r/Daggerheart Reddit. U/Tavith spoke about his struggle with the no initiative aspect of Daggerheart. This struggle really came when I realised that during the spotlight system, which means whoever wants to go, goes, I never really saw an opportunity to jump in and do something that would be more effective than anyone else. I'm basically analysing everyone's abilities each turn to decide who has the best option. He goes on to say that he basically felt redundant. So yes, the no initiative, oh this speeds up combat thing has its detriment. I'm curious about it. I always have been. No initiative, why not? It works for all the other D&D times, and there's nothing to stop me using it in a D&D session, just saying, look, whoever wants to go goes, let's see what happens. But it just got me thinking about the various types of initiative, and I want to talk about them now. So, you know the normal way, you roll initiative for a monster's position, that's it. But I've started dabbling in the monster's locked initiative score. Basically using their dex score as their initiative time. I mean, the more dexterous they are, the more higher up the initiative order they are. That kind of makes sense, because I'm terrible at rolling initiative for my monsters. Alternatively, there is the AC initiative order. The bigger a monster, the higher its AC. That is the initiative marker. AC 22, you've rolled a 22 on initiative. AC 12, you rolled a 12 on initiative. The bigger, harder, stronger the monster, the sooner you can clump your players. Or what about people who re-roll every round? The randomness giving a true helter-skelter, seat of your pants type of battle. You don't know if you're going to get 2 turns in a row. Alternatively, there could be a long time between your turns. Well, how about side initiative, where basically the DM and one player rolls. Whoever wins, all the players go first, or all the monsters go first, and then the opposition. Sounds, yeah, obviously one-sided. What about the declare action initiative? Everybody, including the DM, will say, well, this monster is going to do this. The player will say, well, I plan to cast this spell and move over there. Another player says, well, I plan to get this net, throw it on him. Everyone declares what they're going to do, so it's set in stone, and then, like for example, the DM will hear all the player options being thrown at the monster, and he will decide which one he would react to. Would it be the arrow at its head? Would it be the net being thrown on it? Would it be a spell to drop stalagmites on it? He'll use whatever he can to get out of the way of whatever he thinks is in his best interest. Or there is the fudging initiative. Do you ever roll terrible for your monster and think, I'm not having it? Next to that 2, I'm putting a 1. You are 21 for your initiative. I have certainly done that. Not for my benefit, but for the benefit of the story, the fight, and the whole experience of the game. But my players and your players may not like that. I mean, after all, legendary actions are what make the monster go in between their turns in 5th edition. And I am trying and forgetting to introduce Doom Points, which is from Tales of the Valiant, and basically means that in a battle, if the players roll a nat 1, the monster gains this innocuous free go. Free breath, free move, free something, free attack. Their failure creates the monsters to have another go at some point, when the DM chooses. Effectively, yes, it's a bit like fear in Daggerheart. And it's useful if you've been playing for so long that you just want to spice things up. Now, in my games, rolling initiative and getting a crit on the initiative means that you get 2 whole turns. We used to have rolling 1 on your initiative meant that you missed a turn, but it really sucked, so we dropped that. So those are some variant initiatives. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on initiative for the next episode. Now, here's an advert. What's up? I'm a cool kid. Do you struggle to play D&D on your curtains? The minis just keep falling down because gravity's not your friend? Playing Star Wars is fine, but playing RPGs on this stuff, your measurements are all off, your minis fall over. Oh, there's gotta be a solution. There is! And here's the fix, cool kids. Maps. A box of maps. Simply pick a map, fold it out, let it drop. And as if like magic, your miniatures stay. Wow, this is truly groundbreaking stuff, y'all. Yes, I said y'all, I'm a cool kid. With over 100 maps to choose from, your games ain't never gonna be the same. And also if you're the DM, players giving you grief, you can whack 'em with this thing. Knock 'em silent. Link in the description, y'all. So yes, my comment sections await your opinion and responses, as always. But have you noticed that us YouTubers now have special community areas? Yes, areas for you to start conversations without my involvement. Now, not a single person has, but people with valid communities can just post and everyone can get a chatter in, keep the person's channel alive and awake. I know you're lurking out there, I know you have opinions. Let's see if anyone does it before next episode. So in other news, my son bought Candela Obscura. I had a good look through it and determined, yeah, it's Call of Cthulhu by Darrington Press. Call of Cthulhu is pretty much an easier to pick up D&D, where you play investigators, I suppose. Now, Call of Cthulhu is very handout driven and much more roleplay involved. All theatre of the mind, and Candela Obscura seems very much like that, but it's a D6 dice pool. Your stats determine how many D6s you roll. And I just wonder if we're going to get more focus on Candela Obscura by way of some adventures further down the line that I might do DM guides for. I'm trying to expand my little bubble. I'm testing what works and what doesn't, as always. And I'm forever trying to find who I am on this channel. And finally, from July the 8th to the 11th, it is Amazon Prime Day. If you are considering buying anything, then please consider going to Amazon through my link to go to Amazon. And then you can go anywhere within Amazon, buy anything you like, and this channel will get rewarded. It costs you nothing else, but helps this channel. But that's on you, whether you can be bothered. I appreciate it. I do appreciate you for watching and being involved and being cool. Just know that I do appreciate you. And with that, I will see you in the next video.